And today's newscast is powered by Luxury Glam Onsley. So if you want your makeup, your hair, brows, or lashes on point, whether you're stepping out bold, bridal ready, or straight up boss babe vibes, Little One, the owner of Luxury Glam Onsley, got you covered. Trust me, this is where the glam magic happens. Hit up the number on your screen to book your glow up or catch all the info on Instagram on your screen. Welcome to KGN Caribbean News. I'm Karisha Graham. Here's what's making headlines in this week's Caribbean Crime Watch. A nurse in Barbados is recovering after being stabbed near the St. Philip District Hospital. The attack happened as she was walking to work. Now, nurses across the island are demanding better safety things like brighter lights, more police patrols, and trimmed bushes. The Nurses Association says workers have felt unsafe for a long time, and this time they're calling for real action. A Guyanese woman has been found dead under suspicious circumstances in Finch, Guyana. Carita Blair Sandy traveled there with her partner, but days later her body was discovered near his home. Her partner told police they were attacked near the Suriname border, but his story isn't adding up. Now, police across Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana are investigating what really happened. The final goodbye for 11-year-old Adriana took place on Sunday, nearly 2 months after her tragic death shocked the nation. Family, friends, and community members gathered for her funeral following a public viewing and emotional procession through her hometown. Adriana was found dead in a hotel pool back in April after being reported missing during a family outing. Despite multiple autopsies confirming she drowned, many remain unconvinced, pointing to her injuries on her body and how long it took police to find her. As she was laid to rest, calls for justice and answers continue. A prison officer in Trinidad is recovering after a terrifying ambush while heading home from work. Govindra Balgobin was shot in the arm and leg just minutes after leaving the maximum security prison in Aroka. Police say the gunman tried to get away, but their car crashed on the highway. One suspect died and another was arrested. The attack has sparked fresh fears in the prison service, with officers now being urged to stay alert and change their routines. Leaders say the threats are real and more protection is urgently needed. Police in St. Kitts are asking for the public's help after a robbery at a supermarket in Trafalgar Village. Surveillance video shows a masked man inside the store with what looks like a weapon. He got away with cash and other items, and now officers are trying to track him down. If you recognize the suspect or have any information, you can send an anonymous tip using the link in our Instagram bio. A young man is recovering after a shooting in Halfway Tree, St. Kitts and Nevis. Police say 20-year-old Khalik Henley was inside his home Thursday night when gunmen entered and opened fire. He was struck in the arm while trying to escape and is now in stable condition at JNF Hospital. Investigators say they have collected evidence from the scene, but no arrests have been made. If you know anything about this case, you're asked to contact the Violent Crime Unit. A police operation in Freetown turned deadly last week after officers came under fire during a raid. Gunshots were exchanged and one suspect was killed. A police officer was also hurt but is expected to recover. Police say they found a gun and ammo at the scene and the investigation is still ongoing. They're asking anyone with information to come forward. A man from Redemption Sharpes has been charged after a shooting left a young technician injured in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Police say 45-year-old Roberto Prince entered a neighbor's home and shot the 21-year-old in the back during a dispute. He is now facing charges for wounding and criminal trespass. Prince was granted bail and ordered to stay away from the victim. The case is set to return to court on June 25th. A disturbing case out of the Bahamas. A 20-year-old man will spend the next 5 years behind bars for aiding and recording the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl. Jean Santilli pleaded guilty to helping plan the attack, filming it, and sharing the footage. The assault happened back in 2023, but sentencing came down this month in the Bahamian High Court. While he wasn't the one who carried out the act, the judge made it clear that recording and distributing a crime against a child is just as serious. Saint Lee will also be on probation for 2 years after his release. Let's check the political heartbeat of the Caribbean in this week's Politics Pulse. Jamaica's political season is heating up as the ruling party kicks off its campaign ahead of this year's general election. No date has been set, but under the law, voters must head to the polls before mid December. The Jamaica Labour Party is already making moves, rolling out candidates and ramping up public appearances. But recent polls show a deeply divided electorate, with strong party loyalty shaping how voters see the government's performance. The race is on, and both sides are getting ready for what could be a fierce fight at the ballot box. It's been a busy June in Trinidad and Tobago as the new government gets to work. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besasa and her cabinet are focused on rebuilding international ties. This month, the president hosted ambassadors from Russia and Spain as Trinidad looks to expand its diplomatic reach. At home, ministers are settling into their roles just weeks after the United National Congress took power in May. In Barbados, June brought a financial win and a renewed political focus. The European Union officially removed the island from its list of high risk countries, an important step for foreign investment and banking. Meanwhile, government officials are reviewing the recent by election in St. James North to assess voter turnout and campaign spending. With a general election not yet announced, parties are quietly preparing for what could be a busy political season ahead. Political life in the Bahamas remains active this June. The Davis administration confirmed its full cabinet lineup, with ministers now focused on economic strategy and public sector reform. In education, Belinda Wilson secured another term as president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, following this month's union elections. While no national vote is imminent, leadership movements suggest parties are watching the political winds closely. Tensions are rising in Cuba as students protest rising internet prices, calling for campus strikes and government resignations. Meanwhile, officials are finalizing a new customs law that could tighten restrictions on what travelers bring into the country. At the United Nations, Cuba pushed back against U.S. criticism of its overseas medical missions, defending the practice as international solidarity, not exploitation. A constitutional challenge in Dominica has been thrown out by the High Court. The case questioned how the opposition leader is appointed, but judges ruled the claims had no legal standing. With that decision, political focus now returns to national development plans and party restructuring as both sides prepare for the second half of the parliamentary term. The Dominican Republic is expanding its border wall with Haiti launching a new phase in Dahaban aimed at tightening immigration control. At the same time, commercial flights between Santo Domingo and Venezuela have resumed, restoring a key route for trade and travel. This segment of KGN Caribbean News is sponsored by Belam Natural Skincare, a real Jamaican brand born from the founder's own skin struggles. If you're tired of dark spots, dry patches, or uneven skin tone, these handmade soaps could be your new best friend. They've got some killer combos like kojic acid with vitamin C, turmeric and sea moss, honey, and oats, all natural, all effective. Plus, they ship all across Jamaica. And here's the catch, they also ship internationally. So, no matter where you are, you can get in on the glow. Order through the Instagram on your screen or WhatsApp the phone number, which is on your screen as well. Your skin, I go thank you. Take care of your skin, people. Here's what's happening in the Caribbean economy with this week's Island Market Watch. Antigua and Barbuda is tightening the rules around how foreign companies operate. The government signed on to a major tax agreement this week, pledging to close loopholes that let big businesses avoid paying their fair share. Officials say it's a step toward fairness, creating more balance between local businesses and global giants, while boosting Antigua's credibility on the international stage. New funding is heading to the fintech scene in the Bahamas. Over $400,000 was awarded to digital finance startups through a national program aimed at boosting innovation. The goal is to make everyday banking and business transactions easier and help more Bahamians access modern financial tools. Barbados is moving closer to a cashless future. The central bank is working on a system that will allow instant payments between accounts, cutting wait times and improving how people move money. It's designed to support faster business, more flexible shopping, and better service across the board. The system is expected to roll out later this year. New savings campaign is underway in St. Kitts and Nevis, helping residents make smarter choices at the checkout. It's called Smart Spend SKN, and the focus is on practical tips like choosing more affordable grocery items. Government officials say simple changes like switching cereal brands could save families over $500 a year, giving them extra room for key expenses like transport, health care, or school needs. The Jamaica Constable Force wrapped up its Transformations Expo 2.0, a 4-day showcase of tech-driven policing. Held in Kingston and Montego Bay, the event gave the public an inside look at drones, virtual crime scenes, and advanced forensic tools. Students and residents explored interactive booths designed to educate and inspire interest in public safety careers. Police say the expo wasn't just about technology, but about building trust, boosting transparency, and connecting with the communities they serve. Jamaica is expanding access to the internet with more than 380 free public Wi Fi hotspots now active across the island. The goal to help more Jamaicans, especially in rural and undeserved communities, get online. The Universal Service Fund is behind the effort and it's not just about putting up Wi-Fi, it's also covering the cost to keep those hotspots running. With over 250,000 daily users, this growing network is helping people connect to school, work, and vital services, bringing the digital age closer to home for thousands. Jamaica is also rolling out a brand new school bus system aimed at helping rural families. The first shipment of buses is already on the way, part of a longer plan to provide affordable transportation to over 300,000 students in remote areas. Each ride will cost just 50 Jamaican dollars, easing the financial burden on families who often struggle with daily travel costs. The government says the program could save parents nearly 180,000 a year. The goal is to make education more accessible while also cutting down on unsafe travel routes for kids in the countryside. St. Lucians could soon see grocery bills go down. The government announced plans last week to scrap service charges on certain goods and remove VAT on more than 70 basic food items starting next month. The move is part of a wider effort to tackle rising costs and bring relief to households hit hardest by inflation. Officials say retailers are expected to pass those savings on to customers right away. Consumers in Trinidad and Tobago are feeling the pressure at the supermarket. New data shows food prices are still rising, pushing inflation to nearly 5%. Economists say the climb is steady but noticeable, especially for lower income households. With the back to school season around the corner, families may have to budget tighter as the cost of basics like rice, bread, and produce continues to inch up. Welcome to the KGN Sports Zone where island athletes shine. Two of Jamaica's top throwers are switching sides literally. Olympic gold medalist Roger Santona and bronze medalist Rajindra Campbell are now set to compete for Turkey. The move finalized last week includes major financial backing, part of Turkey's push to become a new global force in a field event. But it's not official just yet. Under World Athletics rules, they'll have to sit out major competitions for up to 3 years unless an exception is granted. Cricket fans in Antigua are celebrating a big win this week. The national team took home the 2025 Limca T20 Masters title, beating Nevis by 72 runs. Top performer Kerry Mentor lit up the field with an unbeaten 137, helping Antigua post a massive score that proved too much to chase. The victory is being hailed as a major boost for the sport across the Leeward Islands. The Bahamas fell short in their latest T20 cricket qualifier. The team lost to Canada by 7 wickets during the ICC Americas matchup in King City. Despite some early efforts from Bahamian bowlers, Canada quickly took control of the match and chased down the target in under 6 overs. It's a tough loss, but players say they're learning and preparing for future international play. Barbados is investing big in sports. The government just approved a 30 million upgrade plan to improve national training facilities across the island. 9 major sporting bodies include track, basketball, and volleyball will benefit from new equipment and improved venues. Officials say the goal is to help local athletes compete at higher levels and prepare for regional tournaments. St. Vincent is getting ready to host a major youth sports event next month. The Windward Island School Games will bring student athletes from across the region for a full week of competition. From track to football and netball, teams from St. Lucia, Dominica, Grenada, and SVG will face off. Officials say it's a great way to build sportsmanship and unity among island nations. It's time for this week's Spotlight, where we shine a light on the movers, makers, and game changers across the Caribbean and beyond. Usain Bolt has been named a Guinness World Records icon, one of just 7 people worldwide to receive the honor. The award recognized not just his beatable track times on the track, but the impact he's made around the globe. Bolt says he's proud to inspire the next generation, and the recognition proves that dedication and discipline still matter in a world full of distractions. KFC turned 50 in Jamaica and the island turned up. literally. The fast food chain dropped a big birthday bratta: buy a three-piece combo, get a two-piece meal free. And you think that's simple, right? But this wasn't a lunch rush, this was fried chicken fever. From Kingston to Montego Bay, drive-thrus backed up for blocks. Lines wrapped around buildings. Some folks showed up before sunrise, others waited hours, and some stores had to even shut down early just to breathe. One deal, one island, unlimited chaos. But this wasn't just about chicken, it was about culture, cravings, and crowd control. Because for Jamaicans, KFC isn't just fast food, it's family tradition. And if this celebration proves anything, it's that when KFC says Rata, Jamaica shows up heavy. That's it for this week's edition of KGN Caribbean News. I'm Carisha Graham. See you next week right here where vibes meet truth and every island will eventually get the spotlight.